What's happening YouTube? Welcome to another video. As you can see here, I have a PSA return, and this time it is from a bulk submission that I submitted at the beginning of September, and this was at the $18 tier. I have a video that I posted around that time just to illustrate the cards that I was going to submit, so if you're interested in that, please click the card above and hopefully that should take you to that. Otherwise, let's just get into the video. So as I was saying, this is a submission, a bulk submission that I submitted, I believe, the 7th or 9th of September. And again, yeah, so roughly it took around about 10 weeks, 2.5, maybe 11 weeks, almost 3 months. And they're officially giving like 120-day turnaround time. So this was like maybe a quarter, maybe a third less than that, which isn't obviously too bad. All things considered. They obviously then had the $15 special offer following this a few weeks after this, and I imagine those are going to take a similar amount of time, maybe even a bit less, considering what happened when they previously had the $18 price as the special offer. So let's get straight into it. I've already seen the grades. Like it's hard not to when you receive that email saying, "Oh, your grades are here if you want to check them." So I find it really tough not to kind of look at that before actually receiving the cards. But there's not going to be any kind of surprises here, but I will kind of talk through some of the cards and probably give my sentiment and thought towards the grading itself. So let's kind of get started here. So if you haven't seen the initial video, the majority of the cards that I've submitted are like kind of half of them are EX era holos, similar to this one here. So this, as you can see, is the Team Aqua, Team Magma Sharpedo in PSA 9. Look at this, and then the other half, that's just a bit of dust, and the other half are some modern cards. Better lighting. This, see a bit of a nick there. I think a 9's fair. Overall, I will say, cards coming up, you'll see that. I think they were a tiny bit harsh. Is that little fin swirl there? They were a tiny bit harsh, in my opinion. I was expecting some of the EX era holos to come back as 10s, but they were basically mostly 9s. Basically all 9s and 8s, which was a little bit disappointing, but you know, it is what it is. Hopefully get a better look on the next one. Let me just kind of split these off into two piles. That's 8, 9, and then whatever. Won't surprise you if there's anything less than that. I probably won't even bother showing it. Here's the next one. This, ooh, the Victini Mythical and Legend Dream Shine collection. Just to also say that the majority of these cards will be up for sale. So if you are interested, please follow me on Instagram, or you can message me on YouTube. On Instagram, my Instagram tag is @PokePhD. So if you follow me in there, if you are interested in any of the cards, look at the beautiful holo on that. If you're interested in any of the cards, just feel free to kind of reach out to me there. Probably be posting some sales. Here again, kind of getting into the modern. They've mixed the cards up from how I submitted, which is obviously fine. It's just a little bit annoying because it's kind of nice for me to show it off where, yeah, let's ignore that one. It's kind of nice for me to show it off where I have I submitted them in a specific order, but you know, it is what it is. So nice 10 on the full art Mew, 10 on the Battle Styles Octillery. I also want to caveat and say this Dark Ampharos Holo. This card is not significantly, but it's like somewhat more expensive than the other kind of Japanese Neo holos, like at least everything outside of like a Lugia, for example. And I'm not really sure, perhaps that's due to the population report, probably something worth looking into. But generally I did try and submit, look at the shine on that. Yeah, I generally try and submit, at least I did with this submission, was to ensure that the cards were in like very, very good condition before sending off. So there's a few that come back lower grades, at least from the modern cards, which I'm a little bit surprised about, to be honest, but perhaps there are a few things that I didn't see, it didn't look properly, and maybe that's why. So here's you see the swirl between the two eruption spots. What do we call them? The humps. They're definitely humps. It's the camel, right? But I'd say the majority of the grades, particularly for the EX era hollows, or I personally think are a little bit harsh, but like you can basically justify them all to say, that it's kind of within the bounds of reason and subjectivity, and then there weren't ever perfect cards. If you saw that the initial video that I posted, they weren't really perfect cards. I just thought, hey, maybe one nick, maybe two very small nicks would be enough for me to squeeze the 10, and I guess that's where it kind of comes onto the grade. Like this, for example, I thought this would get the 10. This is obviously a nick 9. I think if anything, the centering's off a little bit at the front, and then I can't see too much here, to be honest. Little white nick here, tiny, and to be honest, that's about it. So I was a bit surprised it's got the 9. Again, just thought it was a little bit harsh, but we'll see as the overall grades. I think there's a kind of equivalent number of PSA 7. There's a nasty print line there, and a little bit of whitening and stuff on the side. Then here's a lovely card. This would have been nice if it came back in at least a 9. This would have been fantastic. Obviously Milotic being such a popular card, and obviously EX Emerald. There's an EX version in this set, which is a fantastic card. So would have been nice to go along with it. Not that I have a copy of that card, because it's like ridiculously expensive, and I've obviously never graded one myself, unfortunately. This is another one, PSA 5. I thought this would be a 10, to be honest, when I submitted it, so I'm not sure exactly why I'm back at 5. I don't think there's anything. There must be some kind of, not crease, maybe some kind of surface dent causing it. I mean, maybe not, would have been, centering's a bit off, so I'm not sure if I thought it would exactly be a 9. I don't think there's any damage on the back either, so no, there's not. Maybe, yeah, no, there's a bend there. I can just see it now. Back of the top corner there. I swear that wasn't there when I submitted it. Might be another classic PSA damaging people's cards. So see about that. A few more modern cards. Modern cards, not particularly anything special. A few alt arts and then a few full arts. Unfortunately, I sold a lot of the better stuff already, whether they were at singles, so I didn't have as many better cards to submit. That would have been nice to come back as a 10, but not too sure why. Is there any damage there? I don't really see anything. Maybe the centering, if anything, slightly off, but very slightly. I'm pretty sure that's within 60/40. But and let's continue. So back on the 10s again, because we've been out of 10s for a little minute. So there's the full art Pikachu, the nice Evolving Skies Leafeon, Frostlass. So let's maybe start moving through this a bit quicker. That's Caitlyn, another full art, not waifu, but another popular full art trainers. We all know what they're there for, right? And then we've got another Sylveon. So getting close to the Evolving Skies full art 10 lot. Another, that's a Frostlass in PS9. Don't know how this is a 7, and 7 is like the most random grade as well. We know like PSA on like PGC and BGS, if there's a dent, if there's some kind of damage, I think there's a tiny dent there. Maybe that's why. Very tiny dent. Bit easier to see when I've got this light shining at it, which is kind of nice. I thought that would have just been a 10, so I was a bit surprised to see 7, 9 there. Another full art Pikachu, and then 10. Another Frostlass. These, I guess, aren't. This one's a nice card. Guess not as exciting. Hopefully, we can get back into the EX era hollows, where it gets a little bit more exciting, I guess. You know, the modern cards are nice too, of course. And then I'm pretty sure I've got the final pile here. So I think in total is around about 56 or maybe 60 cards, something around there. So again, as I said, this is the last, let's not even talk about that one, the last section. This one is gorgeous, may I just say. I really like this art. I think the art is fantastic. Let's not even bother the condition, it's just nice to look at. Very artistic. This again would have been fantastic to come back as a 10. I don't think it was ever going to be a 10. I think this is a pretty fair 9. There's a tiny bit of damage, a tiny bit of whitening in this corner and this corner, but maybe on another day, perhaps on another day. No, I think there's enough whitening at the bottom, to be honest. Fairly accurate grade there, but still nice. Again, another EX Emerald card in a 9, Gardevoir as well. That's Prime Electrode in a 9. So those piles are looking very similar height at this point. You see the swirling Dialga there. We'll be keeping that one because Dialga is awesome. I already have this in a 10, so we'll probably be selling this copy. That's had this in a binder for ages as well, so glad this got the 9. Not bad. I just had it lying around for ages and decided to finally submit it. Here's Undaunted Sizzle. I think there's a little half swirl top right corner. Otherwise, I think this is a fantastic art. I posted this art on Instagram recently just because I think it's awesome. Otherwise, that's a nice solid PSA 9. Can't complain about that. Again, another binder card lying around. Swirly Roserade in PSA 7. We don't talk about those. We don't give them time. Another so this is a Rapidash from Triumphant. I submitted a couple of these, and I think 9 was the highest grade. That's I can't even see the hollow pattern. It's very faint and not so obvious because I've not put any of the hollow on the flames or on the body as well. So limited in what you can see. That's an 8. They're not, I guess, the most difficult cards to grade. It's just a matter of actually getting the cards, and sometimes they come out of the packs damage as well. Same here with kind of the Diamond and Pearl era cards as well. Because they don't have a significant amount of hollow, you don't get, for example, some of the print lines and stuff that you get. This is a lovely card, isn't it? Some of the print lines that you get with like Neo era cards. Another full art Medicham. This one's a lovely card. I said as soon as this came out, as soon as we saw this in like the Fusion Strike pre-release, that I wanted to get this card in the PSA 10. Gorgeous. Yeah, so like for example, some of the Neo era cards where they have a lot of print lines and so on, and they're significant in reducing the grade. Don't have this so much with Diamond and Pearl, especially because, you know, the hollow is pretty much kind of ostracized and secluded to the smaller areas of the card. So these kind of EX and I guess more Diamond and Pearl era hollows are, if you get a copy, I don't think they're necessarily difficult to grade, but the problem is finding the copies, of course, and then finding the copies that don't just have whitening and stuff when you open them. And last but certainly not least is the Fusion Strike Secret Rare Espeon VMAX. This is a lovely card. Wasn't sure about this. I thought this maybe might get the 9, but kind of looking at it now, it looks pretty much perfect. Maybe only slightly off, slightly thicker on that side. So one more 10, then we have 9, as you can see here. This 10 pile is slightly higher, which is fantastic, but then that's not accounting for the 8s, and then the miserable 7s and 6s, 7s and 5s. So there you go. That's my bulk submission from early September. Again, took a little less than 90 days, which is as I said, it was around about a quarter. I think maybe even about 75-80 days. I had a bit of an issue getting the cards after they were dispatched and sent off to me. So, you know, PSA doing reasonably well to get these within their kind of estimated turnaround times. So if you are interested in any submissions, I think now is not a terrible time to do it. Of course, we've got Christmas coming up, so anything you kind of submit now, you might be getting back at the beginning of the new year, which is obviously nice. It's nice to return to a few card submissions. But anyways, thanks for checking out the video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and let me know if you've been submitting anything recently, and feel free to subscribe as well, and I will catch you on the next one.